That's right. This is where we. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. All right, people, this is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. It was a very interesting tonight. Kind of got like shut down a little bit, but we got a great show tonight for you guys. A great show, great show. Hopefully, you guys will stick around and learn something. It's definitely, it's definitely went on tonight. We got Mark Carter, Sister Doris, and oh my God, y'all know it's gonna be a bomb now. Listen, don't come on here fussing now. You better come on here with a question. You're gonna get ate up now. You're gonna get ate up because we serious about black folks' problems now. All right. Y'all gonna get ate up tonight. So we ain't gonna take no Mark ain't gonna take no prisoners tonight. He already had one battle today. So we're hey Mark, give me a few more minutes. I'm gonna let the, more people come in real quick. Get my people to come in and let them know what's going on and greet them as they coming in. Great show tonight. Great show. And I got a Sister Doris, I got accused of spewing hate out from last night. I had a show last night. Somebody said I was misleading the people. Yeah. I should have told her, will you come on back on here and straighten me out? Yeah, for real.
Well, tell them to call me. I'll straighten them out.
You'll straighten them out, okay.
And if they think that you're misleading the people, they are grossly confused.
Yeah,
they're confused.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right,
so how are you misleading the people by standing up for black people? Because he, whoever that was, has been conditioned to think that he should be in the condition or we should be in the condition that we're in.
Mm-hmm. And that's the gospel truth. That is true. That is true. All right. Make sure you guys share it on your page. I'm texting some people so they can come on in and watch. This is live, uncut, unedited. Hey, Mark, all we need is about an hour. I think we can get it done in an hour. What you think, Mark? What y'all think?
Hey, you the pilot.
Okay.
But
all right.
I want to say to Danita, you know where that guy come from that was orchestrating the meeting for the Hispanic guy?
Where?
COCO, the organization COCO. So those are Brandon's people. Those are Brandon people.
Okay.
The guy that had the hat on when I was talking to.
Okay.
Comes from COCO and that whole circle with the Coalition for the Homeless and all that, all those Jewish organizations and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that all got together to push that Bring Home Chicago ordinance, whatever it is. But anyway, those are Brandon's people, and so he was coming in like he was just a regular old black guy, but all the time he worked for that whole circle with CTU and everybody.
Oh, okay. He was upset with me. He didn't speak to me when he left out there. I didn't do nothing to him. You know, he didn't want me to talk. That's Mark. That's y'all thing. I don't speak for the West Side, but Mark handled it real well. Yeah, handled it real well. All right, people, we're gonna get started. Let me see how many people I got in here. I just text some people. Let's see. We got enough people. We got okay, 50. Oh, we can get started. Okay, Mark. Who want to start us off? This is live, uncut, unedited. Tell us about our experience tonight. Tell us about the meeting. What was the meeting all about?
So Danita, you can get it underway because you the one first kicked it off.
Oh yeah, she started.
Came behind me.
Troublemaker.
Yeah.
Troublemaker. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Straight up started trouble tonight.
You know, I would like to say that the meeting started kind of all over the place, as far as the one particular topic they wanted to talk about, but ultimately it was more about us putting ourselves last. Specifically, he said we need to put ourselves on the back burner and allow for this new administration to do what it kind of wants to do at will. And I allowed him the floor to speak whatever he needed to speak so that I can genuinely have a response to him. I guess what shook me up was the gentleman to follow up with him. What's his name? The pastor that followed up. What's his name, Mark? That followed up, the one that I responded to, that was assuring what the Hispanic older person was speaking on.
I think that was the pastor. Was that the Pastor Mark?
No,
That
no,
was the
he's the
pastor.
executive director of the.
Oh, he was.
On some of the black guy that came after the Hispanic dude, or Reverend Robinson.
Yes. No, the black guy that came after the Hispanic dude.
Yeah. He was the executive director of the Preacher's Circle. He comes from Cocoa.
Okay. So it
Yeah.
was
So
his
Reverend
conversation that
Robinson
pretty
was.
much.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Now, before you get started, tell us, give us a prep of what they was trying to say first. Tell them we was at this particular Baptist church. Just give us a prep a little bit.
Well,
So
we were at I forget, I've never been to that church, so that was my first experience there. Somebody can tell the name. But we were at this Black Baptist church on the west side on Polk and
no, it was independent.
Hamlin,
Yeah,
Independence.
yeah.
And the
760.
pastor, the gentleman that I witnessed, because I walked out on the first part because I had to answer a phone call. So I
Right.
wasn't there on the first part to get that. I got
Okay.
in on the part where it was the Hispanic guy talking about all of the things that Hispanic folks were going through, which we allow the floor for that, for what folks
Mhm.
are going through, because we hear everybody's story and everybody's love, and we're not
Right.
against that. The part that kind of took me was when he was using like big names that come from our community, like Dr. Martin Luther
Uh-huh.
King and Fred Hampton, and Harold Washington, which is typical talking points in our community with a certain demographic, which was mostly seniors.
Right.
That really was triggering for me, from the beginning. So at one point, I think I leaned into Mark and I was like, well, he's only giving part of that story because part of that is a regret with the agreement that he made with introducing us to the Hispanic community in the first place. And that was in relations to the Hill Washington comment. So that was when my antennas went up the first time. And then he went to our seniors to say, well, we've been we've been taken advantage of all this time and we haven't had all of these things. So basically, keep taking it and let them come in and take something from you. You've already not had much, right?
Right. Oh, a connection went bad. A connection went bad. She'll come right back in. A connection went bad. Okay.
Mm,
I
All right.
think
mm.
I broke up. I
Yeah,
think
you broke up. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. So it's not because it broke up on my side. So
Oh no, it's scratchy. Go just go out and come.
once you got into the story and you said that your point to say that we should, I'm sorry.
You sound real scratchy. So what I need you to log out and log back in. They don't want us to talk about this subject, boy. Log out and log back in. Just come back in, log back out, and then come log back in. I'll bring you back in. Cause it's scratchy. Yeah. Maybe I could do that. Let's see. All right, let's see. Yeah. Mark, go ahead. Tell us about the introduction. 'Cause she's Mark.
Yeah. Yeah. You hear me?
Yeah, he go ahead.
Basically, what he was attempting to do was bait us in, soften us up by acknowledging that we were having all these issues over the years, and then said to us, well, the people of Venezuela have the same issues and going through the same problems by who are the same people that we are under attack by, right?
Right.
And but then again said to take and put our issues on the back burner because that's not what we're here tonight to talk about. Though we've been having these problems, though we have these problems now, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about why the Venezuelans are coming to America. Uh, well, America destabilized their economy from the oil reserve of $53 billion down to $8 million, and all of this softening the people up. And you got a room full of elders for the most part that don't have a clue what the level of deceitfulness that they are coming with. They didn't know what this guy was talking about,
Mm-hmm.
and by him, being a black man, he was able to infiltrate and get them on board, and then let this Hispanic being come in and say he gonna organize in the black neighborhood, and we all need to organize together, as if he's not an alderman, as if he's not down there with Brandon, as if we some fools or something. And so we let him go and talk, and then Danita got up and tried to inform the seniors that, look, what they talking about is gonna hurt y'all. Y'all gonna get hurt by this if y'all go along with it. And so he wanted to undermine what he was saying. So I came right back behind him. Said to him, hey man, look, you're gonna be held accountable for this trickery and deceit that you have brought in the room with our people. And you disregarded and disrespected what Danita was saying, but it ain't gonna happen over here. And again, you better be very mindful and careful, because in the end, you will be held accountable for this game that y'all thought y'all were gonna play. And so he wanted to go back and forth, and really was trying to get the pastor of the church to shut us down for speaking.
Right.
And then after I spoke, then Pastor Spiller came up on the same page that first of all, y'all haven't even told the alderman of the ward that y'all having a meeting over here, and you are alderman coming from another ward, and then it's always this where we have to help everybody else, but nobody helps us. This is the pastor was saying this, and it's like this old game that they've been playing all the time. Bring the white man in the room, but let the black person who make the little corny jokes soften the people.
Hey, Mark, hold up. I think I can play a little bit. Mark, hold up real quick. I'm going to play a little of this clip. I think I got a little bit of it. I can hear it clear. I want hold up. Let's get this on. Let me make sure y'all can hear it.
I love to talk to our communities in the South and West Side. If it wasn't for the South and the West Side, we wouldn't have a mayor. Who cares today? 80% of black residents give us a new mayor to change this. But this is a big fight, it's a federal. And what I can share with you is the administration today needs of advocacy of all of us more than ever. When we see 70,000 residents in the city of Chicago unhoused today, 20,000 of them are children in CPS. And we do have the resources to change that.
It's too low, Martin. It's real low. We can't hear.
Y'all can't hear. Okay. All right. I can hear, but okay. I'm gonna have to get it. I had to put it on a thing and do it over again. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Mark. But it was interesting, man. It was interesting. My point was, why wasn't the alderman of that ward, particular ward, was there represented? That's what I need to know. I mean, I'm just an outsider looking in, and I didn't see any citizens that represented that community was there. Maybe a few pastors, and that was it. What was up with that, Mark?
So if you you remember the other pastor that was sitting down, the one I was standing right next to, that was sitting down, the guy that was sitting at that table, and then he stood up. Well, he was saying to us that it was not a political meeting, and basically she wasn't invited. That's what he was really saying, that it was a meeting amongst their organization with this guy who happens to be a friend of the guy from Coco. They had organized some different projects and stuff together. And so he was letting us know, well, this is not a political meeting, and essentially she wasn't invited. It was to educate the people on why the Venezuelans are coming to America. And I mean, it just made no sense that whatever it was, even if it wasn't a political meeting, that an alderman a Hispanic alderman at that, had no business coming to a black area without calling the alderman from that area. And that's just the respect that they must have amongst each other. Now, if it was just a community meeting, no elected officials invited, that's a different story. But to invite a Hispanic alderman to come to the black area promoting a phony black and brown coalition, no. And I'm glad that all of us had the same mindset that we're not gonna have these one-sided movements where black people play into the black and brown, but the Hispanics never do. So
Mhm. So, all right.
Well,
I think also like we have to be understanding that in that meeting, it was strategical that in our particular area, we have 3 black representatives. That's Lakeisha Collins, Monique Scott, and Commissioner Deere. Neither one of them that are live in this community and probably 5-minute driving distance that own are tax-paying citizens in this community before they are public officials. They didn't even get invited on that level of things. So I think that it is important for us to understand that part of my frustration came from the lack of representation, not just from them, but we didn't have the future in the room. And that's what I needed to call out. We had none of the future. We have people in there that have probably been aligned with this system for decades and used to this whole new mentality. I don't do the insulting, I just call it exactly what it is. But that mentality is exactly what has led us to the deprivement of our community for years. And I was not going along with that today. I was not going to allow a room that was 90% 75 and older. 95% 75 and older to decide the future for a community that is multi-age. Like most people in this community are millennial, 45, 55. None of that was in that room today in true representation. Who they had in that room was the people they needed to go along to get along. And I just so happened to not be one of those people. And I will not be one of those people when it comes to the advancement of Black citizens of this country, specifically the ones in 24th Ward, because we are the ones that have a gift right now. We have an older person that believes in the 85% plus African Americans in our community. We have a state senator that believes and pushes behind her. So if we're at the local level and if we're at the state level, you think I'm going to let somebody that's not paying taxes in my local area come and tell me what's best for me and then bring a Hispanic man in that doesn't speak my language first? And I'm not against it. Because as I said in that meeting, Black people have operated off of love from the beginning of time. That's why we're here. Because all we do is operate on the back of love. But we need to operate on love of self first moving forward. And that's the love we need to concentrate on. We need to start to put ourselves first. And we need to start investing in people who take the opportunity to speak up for us in rooms that we wouldn't even normally know they're doing it. And Monique Scott has done that. Our community wants that. And we are not going to tolerate people who are having backdoor meetings about things that should advance to 90%, 85% plus, whatever the number is. It's a passing scale that beats the majority. And we need the majority say in this community. And I'm a taxpaying member of it. I love everybody. But right now, I'm loving us first. And right now, we're being taken advantage of. And like he said, we want to hold public officials accountable. Let's hold the churches accountable too, because they get money. You get the direct payment from the community. The public officials have to work for that.
Mm-hmm.
Other people go directly to that church and they pay tithes into each church that they attend in this community. And if your pastor was in there misrepresenting you, then you need to go to that altar and you need to question what his role is in leadership for our community. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, I just got a
No,
little
no,
passionate.
hey, you're gonna have to be sorry about speaking the truth. Go ahead, Sister Doris. Sister Doris.
well, Donita, I want to thank you for being there tonight, and I want to say to you and in those in your age group and under, as an elderly person, I am telling you tonight, stop loving everybody. They don't love us. And that was strategically done to go to these elderly people and play on their ignorance, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, and to play on their vulnerability, to play on their souls as elders, to get them to the point of thinking.
I don't know what happened.
Not thinking about the future, because they know That is how we have been trained to empathize and to sympathize with everybody but our own. Venezuela is not the problem of Black people.
Mhm.
Venezuelans coming to Chicago, that is not our problem. The reason the Venezuelans and all of these other people are coming into Chicago is to replace Black people. Babies, adolescents, elders, and everybody in between. That is what we've got to understand. It is to replace us. These people did not flee a country because of a war. Venezuela is poor, just like Black folks in America are poor. The Venezuelans, that's not our issue. They should have stayed in their country, fight their government, fight the United States government, because this is what we do every day. And when they bring these people into this country, they are not going to fight this system of racism. Only Native Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, challenge this system of the United States, and the government of the United States knows that, and that's why they want to replace us. They fled their homeland. Go back to your homeland and fight your government and stay the hell out of our communities. And that's what we have to say to everybody. And those aldermen who came to that community, a Black man could have never gone to that Spanish-speaking community, Venezuelans, the Mexicans, the Colombians, or wherever they come from. They would have never been able to go into that community and do that yet. And those Mexicans who came over there, they should have been run out of that church. How dare those ministers allow them to come into that community and disrespect the community the way they did. Whoever brought those bastards there, they need to be run out of town. And those Mexicans need to be sent a message. Don't you ever show up in a Black ward again without being invited by the alderman or the political representative of that ward. How dare they? Because they would not allow it to happen in their wards. And see, everybody knows us. So the Mexicans are coming in like the white boys. These half-breed Mexicans are coming in like the white boys have done over the years, and we've allowed them to come into our communities with that nonsense. We've got to stop these other people who think that they can do what this white man has been doing to us for the last 400 years. So, Danita, don't love everybody. If they don't love you, their problem is not your problem. Our Venezuelan problems are not the problems of Black people. They are being brought here to replace us. They're giving them jobs. They're having secret job fairs for them. When we have 50% unemployment in our communities with our young people, this is about the future of young Black men and women, starting with the babies. As we've been saying about this plan, this comprehensive plan, they're starting with their babies, educating their babies and giving those people all kinds of opportunities, and Black people are not mentioned one time. No, you cannot love those people. These are our enemies.
Let me say something. I'm just tell you what I witnessed. Now, I'm just a video man. I didn't say anything. I didn't speak. They didn't want me to video. So they said they want all the cameras off and all that. But the Hispanic guy was up there videoing, but I couldn't video. So but they didn't want me to video for some strange reason. I'm like,
That's
okay.
crazy.
I ate their food up though. I ain't gonna lie to you, it was good too. And so, but it didn't put me to sleep.
You better be careful eating their food.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even pray for it either. That's terrible. But so let me just say this too. When Mark challenged the alderman, the Hispanic alderman, the Venezuelan alderman, and asked him, when he mentioned about the New American Plan, the alderman's body language just dropped. His whole body language dropped. He looked at Mark like, Mark, you're not supposed to know that, Then, and Mark was saying, I think it was somebody was saying, why is it we have to say us, and we always get the short end of the stick? We help everybody, but don't nobody help us. And as my sister Anita said, we can't go in nobody else's neighborhood and get fair treatment, get help. We're not invited. We're not invited. And I understood. So I don't know what was their agenda for the night. Evidently, it wasn't for the people because they didn't want me to video it. Because if it was righteous, it would have been no problem to let everybody see it. That's all.
The agenda was to talk those people into accepting these interlopers into their community. That was the agenda, to soften them up and so that these elderly Black people can welcome them in. Why would they start with the elderly? They're vulnerable. And as Black people, we have been conditioned to put our arms around everybody. We better have a gun in our bosom with these people today because they're out to destroy us. That's just how serious this is.
And he gave
and we
us,
must treat it as serious as it is.
Sister Doris, he gave us this long speech about Harold Washington, the Black Panthers. You know, gave us. He presented it so well, and I was saying in the back of my mind, okay, now where is he going with this? Where is he going with this? He presented it so well. Then he got busted.
To reel us in. That's to reel us in. Because we love our heroes and heroines.
Right.
We love them. And so you soften us up and you have them thinking, they were with Harold, they were with the Black Panthers. That's a lie. They were not with them. That's a lie. You are here to take our position. As their political power grows, and it's growing if these numbers get in here, they are going to treat us just like the white boy. Don't. You got to understand these devils.
Yeah. Hold on. I got a caller down here. It's like they're impatient. I want to see who this is. 4807. Who are you, caller?
Natasha.
Hey, how
Natasha
you doing?
Dunn.
Oh, hey, Miss Dunn.
Hey.
I'm sorry, Miss Dunn. I heard some talking back. I had to make sure you wasn't one of those. Go ahead and say something.
No, I was like, so.
Go ahead.
So this is so interesting because today, while they had that Hispanic alderman on the west side, you had Alderman William Hall on WVON telling the Black community, and the listeners of WVON is predominantly kind of older people too, older right. Black people. You had him on there talking about Alderman Jeanette Taylor and condemning her for speaking out publicly about how she felt about how Brandon Johnson, his administration, is handling the migrant crisis. He told the listeners that we have to start handling our business behind closed doors.
Hell no.
And so I had an opportunity to call in because I was highly disgusted, and I really wasn't right. intentionally trying to listen to WVON. I accidentally logged into it and just heard him talk. And this is part of the problem, that these people have been operating in a mindset that Black people are meant to be seen and not heard.
Right.
And that we cannot, and when we do speak out, it's a problem. But the reality is this, is that we have allowed our elected officials to use their positions to not serve our community. And it's time out for that. We're calling it out. We're calling it all out, because if we don't call it out, we're going to continue to see our communities to fail. We're going to continue to see everything we're seeing right now. They're trying to tell us how private conversations, but publicly we're seeing them destroy our community. Publicly, we're watching them put illegal immigrants above our interests. How dare you put a tent on 115th Street when Roseland is one of the poorest Black communities in the city of Chicago? It has been historically disenfranchised for decades, and you're going to put money, pour resources and funding into building a tent only for migrants? Like, what kind of mess is that? Like, who does that? We will be stupid fools to sit back silently and quietly and allow these clowns to get up and tell us to be quiet and have closed door conversations with them. Get out of here. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep rising up. And now let me say this. I went over to Brighton Park. Brighton Park, they were able to stop the tent city over there. Now, the reason why I stood with them was because that is a symbol. It's a symbol of, we're working together across this entire city. That's one thing that we can all say that we align with, and that's the migrants. We don't want this in none of our communities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what we need to do now, we have Emerson. Emerson stood up. We got the Brighton Park stood up. South Shore stood up. Now we got to rally behind. We need to continue to pray for South Shore because we're still in litigation, but we need to rally behind the Roseland community and help them because this is not right. These people do not deserve to be able to continue to put our communities behind anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then play us on media and have these closed door conversations with our elders trying to miseducate and misinform them. And again, one more thing about the Black and Brown unity. While I stood with them because I'm the one who sort of kicked off the whole legal stuff, right?
Right.
And we have to understand is that even in our history, when there was a quote unquote, when Black people were working with that community, they were not working with them in a subservient manner. Black people were in control. We used others to come and rally our issues and our policy. But what's happening now is just the other way around. What they're doing is using us to rally their policies and their issues, and they're ignoring and leaving us out. And so that is where the line is drawn. And these people who are in office right now, their priority is not the Black community. And them giving us a reparations commission to study reparations, that is not anything. That is not even real. Reparations is a federal debt that's owed to us. The city of Chicago having a commission, they're going to pay the people. That $500,000 is going to pay the people to sit on a commission to study some stuff that we already know. We don't need that. That's not what we need. We need that $500,000 to come back into our community, into our schools, to create housing in our neighborhood, to be able to employ people, to be able to reinvigorate our main streets that look like third world countries. We don't need a fucking commission for Black people to sit up on to feel like they're important to get paid to do it. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's divisive. And that's the games that we want to expose and stop because that's prohibiting us from moving forward in our community.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't do a study. They're not doing a study to spend $40 million a month on illegal economic immigrants. They didn't do a study to do that. And as you said, reparations is it's on the federal level. Only the federal government can grant reparations. Only the federal government. So that's a smoke screen. And that $500,000 is not going to be spent on anything. It is a diversion. It's a distraction. We don't need no damn study for no anything anymore. You have proven to us, the United States government of America, J.B. Pritzker, Brandon Johnson, Joe Biden, you have proven to us that you don't need a study to come up with some money. You're giving it to Ukraine, you're giving it to that Zionist Israel, and you're giving it to the
I don't think anybody can hear. Can you guys hear?
Yeah, can you guys hear? Can you guys hear?
No, she faded out for us. There was no sound in it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sister Doris, because I heard you.
I said all that, nobody heard you.
I heard you, but you can say it again.
You kept all of that to yourself.
No, I heard it. I was working with the mixed mics.
Did the people on the call, did everybody on the call hear me? Because I want everybody to hear me.
I heard it loud and clear.
I heard you, Sister Doris. I heard you loud and clear.
I'm not taking no damn prisoners because I don't have any place to put them. We're going to tell the truth. We're going to expose these niggas who have sold us out, who are preying on elderly men, women who are not conscious. Why would you take these dogs over there to speak to these elderly people? Where are the gangbangers? This is when we need the gangbangers to kick their behind. And we all need to call Chico or whoever that Mexican was, call his office tomorrow and tell him don't come back to the damn black community ever again because we can't come to your community.
Right, because the conversation should be like this. And I centered this conversation in the beginning when we first started this in South Shore, but the conversation should be like this with the Hispanic community. It should be the black community do not want migrants placed in our neighborhood.
Period.
We want you to support us. We want you to support us. What do you think? That's what we. What do you think? What are you gonna do? No. What do you think? What are you gonna do?
Don't give them
no option. Don't ask them what they think.
Right. What are you going to do? But sometimes in order to expose them, because this is what happened in South Shore, we actually had a meeting before that big meeting in May. So in May was when we kicked off everything, right? We had that meeting in May at South Shore. Before we had that big meeting, like 2 days before, because we only got a 2-day time frame, we got together and someone had invited a leader from the Southeast side, which is a Hispanic community, to come to this meeting. And he was saying how he supported whatever decision we would want. I think he was thinking that we were going to go along with it because that's what Woodlawn did. So what I did was to expose him. I said to him directly, exactly what I just told you all, but I said to him, I said, listen, I said, we don't want the migrants. This building has been promised to the South Shore community. It's not right how they told us at the last minute they're going to put these people in this building. They haven't given us any information. We don't want it. What do you think? And I said that because it was other people who needed to hear it. And you know what this man said, this Hispanic boy said? He said, oh, I don't know. I said, what do you mean you don't know? I said, let me say this. What I've seen throughout the years is you all always talk about a black and brown unity or coalition. Mm-hmm. I said, but it's usually around us coalescing with policies that impact your community, right? Mm-hmm. I said, but it's never the other way around. I said, so in this case, I'm telling you, everyone on this call is black, and we're saying we don't want the migrants in our community. What do you think? He says, I think I might have to talk to my elders to see what they think. Mm-hmm. And that exposed him. It was a meant to expose him. But now, the only way we need that alderman should not have been invited to the community to tell black people anything, because we all know we see what's happening. It's to be always the other way around. These are our communities. We got to stand up and put our stake in the ground and say enough is enough. We're sick of people running us off the land. Mm-hmm. We've been running them down forever.
We're going to have to
time out for that.
We have to do what we've been doing on these teach-ins. I'm not asking anyone anything. I'm telling you. I don't even care about your opinion. I'm telling you. We're telling them what we want. We're telling them what we will not tolerate. I'm not asking anybody a damn thing because they haven't asked us. So we're not asking anybody anymore. We're telling them. And they'll get the message.
Mama Doris, that's what Pastor Phillips said to the Hispanic and to the black guy from Cocoa. The guy from Cocoa brought the Hispanic guy because they worked with Reverend Robinson. The pastor told him, listen, y'all come over here and follow us. We're not following y'all. Y'all in our community. And you're going to follow our lead. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
That's what must be done in our neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Now, I keep bringing up this part where we got a chance to slate some candidates under the Republican Party. Now, it seems as if our people have this reservation where they don't want to look like the bad guy. We're under attack. And so if we can replace these politicians in any form of fashion, whether we use the Democrat Party, the Republican Party, whichever one we can use, they both some white-ass parties. Neither one belong to us. But if we could use the Republican Party to then slate our candidates, these candidates are not from the Republican Party, they're from us. So what do we think about being able to do that? Because we can't be cool with these black politicians just because they black, and then you turn around and vote for them just because they black, and you see the Democratic Party's agenda against you.
What we need to do, Mark, is go ahead and vet us some candidates to run, and we will give them an agenda. the agenda will come from us. So we
Without
just
a
need
doubt.
to start vetting people,
are coming from us.
stop telling folks. Just do what we need to do.
Right. But I'm saying.
Can I jump in here for one quick second?
Go ahead, Erica.
Hold on. Let me say this about the people in our area. The people, whoever y'all pick in y'all area, that's who's slated. Whoever comes from our area, that's who's slated. Man, look, I don't care nothing about upsetting Danny Davis and none of them because they ain't never did nothing for us no damn way. And so if we got a chance to slate us some candidates, you know, being slated under the Republican Party don't mean that they dictate to us. We dictate our own pace. But we can't keep on skating around this thing as if everything gonna be all right or they gonna ever listen to us. They not gonna listen to us. These people think they own us. You know? So if y'all got the candidates that y'all want to slate for the general election, then come on with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not interested in being in no fight with nobody that ain't trying to get rid of their enemy for real. I'm not trying to fight their enemy for real. Because I'm not trying to be liked by no Democrats, no Republicans, you know what I'm saying? No black politicians, no white folks. I wasn't put here to be liked by nobody but my people. That's it. And that's the way we all should be moving.
But I think that's why we also should be looking at.
Well, let me say this real quick.
Go ahead, Erica.
Let me say this real quick. I just heard Natasha say that Woodline gave in. At no time did Woodline give in. I was one of the first people that came out fighting for Woodline. And people were not even caring about this issue because it wasn't affecting them. And Martin, you and I both was out there for Woodline.
Yes, I was.
And I gave a good, talking towards Lori Lightfoot, and she backed up. But I'm going to tell you what was the game changer with that. Brazier put his stamp of approval on Woodline. And then Benny Thompson came from Mississippi, and he put his stamp of approval on Woodline. Lori Lightfoot had said she was going to pause the whole thing in Woodline. But when Brazier put his stamp of approval on and Benny Thomas brought his ass from Mississippi, getting in our business, those were the things that changed it. I asked Jeanette Taylor on camera, I said, listen, you need to put up a bigger fight for Wadsworth, for Woodline. I said, can't we file an injunction to stop this? She stated to me that she went to the city's attorney and none of them would take this up. None of them would take it up. I was calling around to try and get attorneys, and Sister Doris, you know it, to file that emergency injunction. Sister Doris was in Mississippi when all of this happened. But when I got up there and said those words to Lori Lightfoot, and I told her, if you pull this, we will not be voting for you. You will be getting out of office. And you see she's not sitting there today. So no, Woodline never, ever gave in to this. We just didn't go far enough to fight it. That's what we didn't do. Now, on another note, with this Alderman Hall, I seen him today on your live, Brother Martin, over there on 75th Street. He's over there leading a protest against a black sister that wants to open a lingerie shop. I don't know what a sex shop is. I can't tell you that. But I'm going to tell you what I do know. Paul standing out there telling me, oh, you put this sign up there on this building. This is illegal. Well, Alderman Hall, you all are dumping criminal, illegal economic immigrants in our communities, and that is illegal. You all, he kept saying that the children are going to see dildos and things like this when they walk past that or their business. She has tinted windows. She said it's no children allowed. But I have yet to hear Alderman Hall say anything to J.B. Pritzker about the comprehensive sex agenda that they have in the schools right now. It's called the Comprehensive Sex Agenda Curriculum. Okay? And this is what they're teaching, this LGBT, pushing that on the children. They're pushing abortion, cross-dressing. They're telling them about dildos and butt plugs, you know. So for him to get up there and say children will come by and see a dildo and you have tinted windows where no one can see in and children are not welcome in there, but you have these explicit books inside the school that's really child porn. And J.B. Pritzker signed a law to say that if the libraries take them out of the schools, they will not get funded. No one is talking about that. That J.B. Pritzker is pushing pedophilia. He's grooming children in the Chicago public school system. So Alderman Hall is a hypocrite. He is a devil in the pulpit, and we need to push his ass into the pits of hell for being a hypocrite, sellout ass no-grow. And that's my piece.
Erica. I got one more
I
call.
agree. Let me clear up. So let me clarify something really quick. So I agree with you. And let me say this. The thing with Wadsworth was that for me, it was a blueprint. I actually was following Wadsworth from the beginning, like in January when they were, the mayor was lying to the community about what was happening with the work that was being done inside of the building. Now, I didn't have an opportunity to found guys, but I had other stuff going on. It was personal, but I was really paying attention. It was in my consciousness, right? And what I said when I said give up, it was just a group of people who was just saying that, like, essentially based on how the city of Chicago operated during that time, the community did fight. They fought hard. They did. It was multiple meetings. It was multiple press conferences. It was multiple actions and things like that. But what they were saying was none of that worked, and the migrants were still placed in their building. And so for me, that was my blueprint to file the lawsuit. I knew that there was nothing, like, even though we turned up, we organized and we made sure that in the 48-hour turnaround time we had for our meeting, we used Wadsworth as our blueprint. We knew that in that meeting, the city of Chicago was going to come in and tell us that they were going to put migrants in. We knew that when they were going to tell us this, that it was going to actually happen, because it happened with Wadsworth. And it didn't matter that Tyrone Muhammad and Andre Smith tried to block the buses. They got arrested and they still put the migrants in. We also knew that in the meeting that the city would turn off our microphones like they did at Wadsworth. So that was one of the reasons why we took control over that meeting. And we told everybody who walked in the building, don't let them tell you anything. We control it. We're going to talk as long as we want to talk. We're going to do what we're going to do. So my point is this, is that at the end of the day, we all fought. Everybody across the city of Chicago has fought. And that's what I told Alderman Hall today on WVON. I called in and I told him, I said, I've been to damn near all of these meetings across the city of Chicago, from Hyde Park to Woodlawn to South Shore to Roseland. And every meeting, it's a resounding, Black people are upset. This is really upsetting us. And I'm getting calls from all over the city of Chicago, you know, trying to get help. People are wanting help. We had the Taylor Park people. Taylor Park was on the list. Can you imagine? The city of Chicago was considering putting the park located in the Robert Taylor Home development that was destroyed, and thousands of Black people was displaced. They were considering that. I'm up all night. I get calls. I mean, this has been stressful for me just as an individual dealing with this. And I say that because what we're seeing is our Black elected officials blatantly ignore us. And we've got to open our eyes, and we've got to come together. And there's a group of us, we've been fighting, right? We're fighting. We've been coming to the city council meetings to turn it up. We've been doing that, but we need the greater community to recognize how serious this is and how it's not going to stop no time soon. Like, they have a plan to continue allowing migrants to be here. Brandon Johnson, Mayor Lightfoot had a committee, a little commission for the Office of New Americans. That's all she had. It was up under the City of Chicago Department of Human Relations, right? They had a commission. Brandon Johnson amplified that and created an entire division with a deputy mayor. Mm-hmm. So this means that this is not this is something he's planning to be taken care of for the next 4 years that he is in office. And so I'm saying this to say that we have to call our elected representatives. We need to push them to put back on the ballot. We need the referendum so that we can vote on not making Chicago a sanctuary city. We need to ensure that there's laws in place to prevent migrants who come here and commit crimes. We need ICE. They need to get the hell out of here. If you commit a crime on the soil of the United States of America, you need to be deported. You should not allowed to stay here because if a Black man commit a crime, he's going to jail. He's going to be going to jail for a long time. And so we have to just understand how it's just so many forces, but we need everyone to be awake and aware, because this is really an attack on our community, on our peace, on our land. We've been through this so many times. And again, we got to put our stake in the ground and fight as hard as we got to fight to make sure that these people know we're serious and we're not going anywhere and we ain't playing.
Mm-hmm. You know what? So they are not migrants. They are not migrants. They're not asylum seekers. They are illegal economic immigrants. We have to change the narrative. We cannot continue to use their language. Everything that Joe Biden, the president of the United States, is doing is fraudulent. He has broken every law, international law, the Constitution. He has broken every conceivable law that there is to push these illegal economic immigrants into the Black community. They are not asylum seekers. Migrant is a person who goes from one place to another in their own country. These people are from around the world. They're not migrants. They're illegal economic immigrants. So let's keep that.
Can I say this too?
Yeah.
I spoke to Evan, and she's Alderman Bell's assistant in his office. I spoke to her today concerning the sanctuary city referendum that they're playing around with down there in City Hall. She told me that it's being held up in the Rules Committee. I asked her, was that referendum binding? And she told me it was not binding. And I told her, well, if it's not binding, it's just a survey. Y'all playing with the people. So Mark, I think, no, that was Brian Mullins. I spoke to him. He said, you know what, Sister Erica, what we need to do is push on the federal government. You know, like Mark always says, reach out to the Republicans. Tell them to put it on the ballot in November. Okay, when they vote for the president, although we know when Trump get in office, he's going to shut that border down and he's going to deport people. He said it's going to be the biggest deportation operation in the history of this country. I know he's going to do that, you know, but we still have to keep the pressure on these devils to do what's right. And like Sister Doris said, they are breaking laws. They are violating our human rights, our constitutional rights. They are violating our civil rights. They're putting us in danger by releasing all of these criminals, pedophiles, murderers, rapists, thieves, everything into our community and prostitute. You got prostitution going on at the police station. At the police station, Bahal want to get up there and scream and holler in a black woman's face about opening up a business on 75th Street. You got prostitution right at 71st and Cottage Grove police station on the ground. So this is the hypocrisy that we're dealing with, family. My alderman, I was told today by Evan, my alderman, Yancey, Disney Yancey, he has yet to sponsor and support this sanctuary city referendum. It's this black alderman that is voting against our rise, like Danny Davis, Jonathan Jackson, Robin Kelly. Who else, Mr. Doris? Who else, Mark?
Well,
We're going to roll call them.
Those pretty much the ones. Well, all these elected officials. But I want to ask the question, do you all have names that we can slate under the Republican Party? We are very clear that the Republican Party is going to go against immigration. They're going to go against these unions that are funding mass immigration. And if y'all don't have candidates that can be slated, then the second option is to put a mass PR campaign out asking for those who would like to be slated. Because, I mean, we don't have time to be playing games with these people. We're very clear what's happening here. You know,
I am, yeah.
The alderman out there, I can't think of her name. She's the one that got the ordinance held up in committee. I can't
Michelle Harris.
Yeah. And so let's stop playing with these people. Do y'all have names of people that want to be slated? Because the general election is where the tale is going to be told. Because they.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I have someone. I have someone that is willing to run to be state rep of the 26th ward. But this is my thing. I'm going to be honest with you, and I always say that. I don't think that we should give our loyalty to the Republican Party, just like we shouldn't give it to the Democratic Party. We don't vote for parties. We don't vote for personalities. We vote for policy. And like I said, I'm voting for Trump because I know he's going to close that border. You know, I know that he's going to deport some people. But I don't want to just give my loyalty to the Republican Party. That is why we came out with the contract for Black Chicago, because we don't want Black people giving our votes up for anything anymore without getting something in return.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm saying we running our own candidates. Are y'all not hearing what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
I ain't got no allegiance to no white folks. I don't give a damn what the hell they coming with. You know what I'm saying? I don't make deals with white people, you know what I'm saying, that tell me what to do, period. You know what I'm saying? No nigger politician, no crackers. You know what I'm saying? I don't take orders. And I would urge y'all to have the same mindset. I'm saying, do we have candidates that we can slate? I don't give a shit that they have to be the ones slating. They're not going to tell us what to do. We got this politics game all mixed up. And this white versus black dynamic all mixed up as if they're superior and we inferior. No, we superior in our areas, just like they whatever they are in their areas. And so this is about us slating our own people, and like Mama Doris said, giving them an agenda that's in line with what we talking about. But in terms of, I don't know where y'all be getting that shit from. You know what I'm saying? Like white folks.
We can do the same thing with the Democratic Party. I mean, I think the same thing applies.
I don't think we can. How do we slate? How can we slate anybody? How can we slate anybody right now?
Because it's the same thing you're saying. So if you're saying that it's a candidate, that we slate for the Republican Party, right? Yeah. Why can't we slate the same kind of candidate for the Democratic Party? Because the reality is, again,
because they all have already submitted signatures. They've already submitted signatures.
Both parties are not. I have not seen neither one of those parties. I'm about agenda items.
You keep talking. You're talking about the party. I'm not talking about the party. I'm talking about our candidates being slated. You can't slate no Democratic candidate because you already got people in the position.
But we can slate people. I think it's good to do both. I think because
what about independent?
I'm trying to tell you, you can't
and independent.
Nobody.
I heard you. Independent.
You can't slate ain't no such thing as no independent. So you cannot slate nobody with the Democratic Party because there are already politicians there that submitted petitions. The only way you slate is for positions that nobody submitted petitions.
So you're saying that the positions are open on the Republican side. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you can
I get what you're saying.
But you could do independent too now. Independent is
ain't no independent party. You ain't raising no money under no.
No, I didn't say a party. I said a candidate.
I'm saying you ain't no money to be put behind no independent. Stop having that pipe frame. Ain't no such thing as no independent or nothing. That's game. Okay? Ain't no independent nothing. It's Democrat or Republican in this country. The only two parties that got money to be able to push an agenda. Let's deal with realities here. Let's stop playing with ourselves like it's some type of joke. These people are moving on us. You let them win in all these different spots another 4 years. After a while, you're gonna be obsolete. They're not gonna need your vote. They're not going to need you in the workplaces, and they're definitely not going to have no conversation about no reparations and nothing else if they don't need you for your votes or to be employees of companies. That's how.
What we need to do, we need to put the word out there that we're looking for candidates to run for these Republican positions with an agenda from the Black community. And that could be the comprehensive plan that they just put together for all of these immigrants. We can put our names in there, substitute Black in there, whatever we want to put in there. And the contract with Black Chicago 2023. We have comprehensive agenda. So put that. So we start looking for
immigrants ain't Democrat or Republican. They ain't Democrat or Republican.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm trying to say is like when you say it that way, I understand where you're going, Mark. I'm just saying that we're talking about a people who have been continuously, brainwashed into voting for one party.
And then we don't want those people then.
What I'm saying is, I know you don't want those people to run, right?
No, I'm saying I don't care. I'm saying let's not pay attention to them. We don't need everybody. If they brainwashed, we don't need them. Matter of fact, most of us over 40, over 50 years old, we ain't got no damn sense when it comes to politics anyway. So we looking for those over 40, over 50 that got some sense, and these younger people. The rest of them, let them fools keep on doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because what we can't do is worry about how they gonna feel about us, how these politicians are going to feel about us, and whoever else. I don't feel guilty about what I'm doing. And I would urge everybody else who about to be in this predicament, you better take that out of your mind of feeling guilty or thinking that you owe some explanation or rationalization. I don't owe no rationalization to no goddamn body that's trying to destroy me. That goes for the politicians. That goes for Black people that's acting dumb as hell when it comes to getting wiped out. That goes for these immigrants. You know what I mean? I don't owe nothing.
Our elders.
That's the mindset we better take on.
Mark, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start looking for candidates to run on the Republican Party with the agenda, the Chicago New Americans plan for Native Black Americans, descendants of slaves. That's what we're going to do. That's what we need to start doing. I don't give a damn about any of it. We're going to run our own candidates on the Republican Party. We're going to give them an agenda. We will vet them. And if they don't go for our agenda and the contract for Black Chicago 2023, then we get them the hell out of the way and move on to the next one. That's what we need to start doing.
And that's exactly what I'm saying, because that's why I keep asking for the candidates from amongst us that we know are on the page that we're on before we move to just asking, the at-large community, because we already know that once you put it to the at-large community, you're going to have all kind of people running to the table
We have to vet them.
Without a doubt.
We'll
But I'm
vet
saying
them.
to you, but I don't want us to waste no time, worrying about how some politician gonna feel about us,
No,
saying that we going Republican. Well, you know what? Matter of fact, Martin.
Yeah.
Tell them about that survey that you did when you asked all them young people, because most of us over 40, we ain't got no goddamn sense. We some ignorant ass fools.
Them young people ready.
You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
tell them what them young people were saying when you say about flipping Chicago.
Oh,
Tell them what they were saying.
Oh man, they were saying, yeah, go for it. Most of people say, yeah. Yeah. They said,
Yeah, because they tired of the
question.
Democratic Party.
I asked the
Right,
question.
we know
Well,
that.
see, it boils down to this, y'all.
Ask
It
the
boils
question.
down to this. It boils down to this. It's as if it boils down to, is it more important that we care about how the politicians that's selling us out feel about us, or that do we care more about the illegal immigrants replacing us, right? And I care more about doing something about the illegal immigrants replacing us. As a black man, standing with
That's our immediate threat.
as a black man standing with our women and children, I don't give a damn what Danny Davis don't like. Fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's how
I'm
I feel
with
about
you.
it.
I'm with you.
I don't care if
I am with you.
man, I'm not. You think I care about what some nigga that's messing over me feel? You messing over me, and I'm worried about how you feel? Man, I don't care. And all them brainwashed black folks, we don't want to talk to them. Let them go about their business. I'm like Noah. I'm like Noah right now, y'all. If they don't want to listen, and we building the ark, and when the rain start come and it's flooding, let them niggas drown. Stop talking to them. They too old for us to be talking to them.
Well, the bottom line here is that, Mark, the bottom line, Mark, is that we don't have a choice. So let's go find us some candidates to run on the Republican Party. We give them our agenda. We have an agenda. All we need are people who are interested in running, and they will run on the Republican ticket. It can be the damn snake ticket. I don't care what kind of ticket it is. So let's start looking for those people and stop having these conversations over. We got to move. We ain't got no choice but to do what we're doing. If we don't, we are going under.
Absolutely.
Listen, y'all, we got a couple of callers. I want to see who they are. Area code 630. Who are you? 630, area code.
Hey, Martin, this is Bill.
Hey, Bill, how you doing? One of my followers. Go ahead, Bill. Yeah, you got something.
I've been listening.
Okay.
Yeah, I got something to say, and maybe a suggestion. I don't know everything, but I like to think I'm even keeled in my thinking. First off, I like to take my hat off and say thanks to everybody that's been speaking, Sister Doris, Erica, Mark. I love your tenacity and your fight, because this ain't gonna happen without a fight. But I like to make a suggestion. I can't say I know exactly how to do it, but I'm sure y'all brilliant minds, when you put it together, y'all can do what you're doing and whatever it takes to get this done. But I think this is gonna have to go with these. Reach out to maybe some other activists, some other people in other sanctuary cities. And when y'all make a date to demonstrate on the same date at the same time, if it's 10 cities and however many people come out, it's got to be known, because the main problem that I see, and I feel like they trying to replace the black man, the Negro, the nigger. They got some new niggas. That's what it is. Bottom line, that's not gonna buck their system like we've been known to do, and there's gonna be yes men all the way across the board. That's what they want. So we cannot let ourselves become extinct because of somebody's agenda. And reaching out across the board to other sanctuary cities, I'm sure they're feeling the same way that we are. But the main thing I'm getting out of this is it's now to bring forth the awareness of how we've been. It's plain as day. It's an open book. How we've been disparaged, disenfranchised, and overlooked. Now is the time, as far as reparations, but make recognition to everybody. It's what has happened to us over the last, just say for the last 60 years. But it's been happening for hundreds of years. And now you sitting here, putting these people here and giving them an opportunity that you never gave us. I don't care about the programs that they have as far as you being able to go to school or different little programs, welfare, whatever. That's for everybody. You never did anything for us, but you got these people here and giving them a head start. And I'm sure the average Black person feel that way. And we've been sold out. It's on the city level, our aldermen, we've been sold out for many, many years on a national level. Because if you had the same candidates that's in Congress or the Senate, they had the same heart that Martin got or Mark got, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So that's just my suggestion. Thank y'all. Let's move on them. I ain't gonna say move forward. We gonna move forward. Let's move on them instead of letting them move on us. Thank y'all.
Okay. I got one
Real
more
quick.
call.
Oh, damn. Can I?
Call.
Okay.
You said real quick. Go ahead.
Okay, so real quick, just simultaneously with everybody's doing, with the future, with us having all these things to work about. Y'all know I believe in dividing everything up and us creating committees. I know we all are at the basis of finding a change for this. Just for me and Mama Doris Energy, we're meeting with them and the Black citizens every day at 7 p.m. to kind of go through that plan. What I think we all need to be prepared to do is, yes, we all come from different backgrounds and different areas of the city, but we need to meet at the table and only be at the basis of Black. I always say one band, one sound. I think we need to unify under that and be consistent with that and take our self-interest off the table, right? When we're moving forward, because we all come from different communities and we all come from different areas. I think that we need to find a basis, and Mama Doris and Mark knows I operate on this in every room that I'm in. I continue to say this: one band, one sound. And the reason I say that is because we see Mexicans and other cultures get into it within their cultures, but what we never see publicly when they need to unite against us is that it doesn't care about economic status, sexual status, religious status. It cares about the advancement of that particular community. So for me, we need to organize across the board from Roseland. Yes, they shouldn't be having it. So we know housing is an issue. I'm an expert in housing. Then we should have a committee directly on housing. Mark knows exactly how to handle our politicians. And so do some of the other people. Miss Natasha's first time hearing from you. I love to meet you and have one-on-one from everybody that I heard from. But I think if we work on our strength, I continue to say this on every call, let's find out what you guys are leaders and strengths on. Let's build committees in that. That way we do an intergenerational planning on everybody's strength. We come back to the table and we dissect this plan in a way that we got the best at every single level, working at every single aspect of this plan, so that when we come back to the table, we got the best financial group working on finances. We got the best politician experts working on politics, because I love what y'all was doing, because I learned a lot. But we need to learn how to categorize these things so that we don't spend most of the meeting talking about what we want to happen and actually go get it done and come back to these meetings with what we've done research on and say, hey, our committee, I want to compete with y'all on committees. I want my committee to outwork y'all. I want to come back with the best housing, and I want y'all to come back with the best politician information, so we get the numbers, the datas, the lawyers, the sellouts, the in and outs, the back and bouts. But I want us to be constructive with these meetings and have purpose with them, because all of this means nothing if we are not walking away with a strategical plan and strategical intentions for all of us to come back together separately yet united, one band, one sound with one plan to move forward for all of our communities. And that's kind of it. And I got to go take care of some family business.
Okay. Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you. All right. We got a caller been on here that haven't said anything. 224. Area code 224. For you. 224.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what it is.
Oh my God. That's OG. What's up? Old timer. Old timer. Go ahead, old timer. What you got to say?
Well, man, you got a hornet's nest here tonight.
Mhm.
And a lot of the stuff that I've been telling you all the time, but I'm gonna say this. I'm Democrat.
Okay, go ahead.
So that don't sound like it don't sound like it's going over too well tonight, but that's fine. You know, I've been saying people have the choice. We live in a country
Right.
where you have freedom of choice.
Right.
And so now I'm Democrat, and I'm going to stay Democrat.
Okay.
I'm going to vote Democrat.
Okay.
Now, I've been hearing a lot of black people on here tonight, but I have not heard now one black person in Chicago ever say anything positive about Roseland. Now all of a sudden, now people say, "Oh, well, you know Roseland," but I've heard some people say, "Oh, if I get sick, don't take me to Roseland. Don't take me over there. Take me to Northwestern." You know, black people always crying all this stuff. Now those migrants, they're gonna go to Roseland. They're gonna take over Roseland. They're not gonna say all of these things. The migrants, what people don't understand about these migrants are spending money. They're spending money at the big box stores. The white people are doing all of the numbers. They're doing everything that we don't want these people to really use as a push for them. The white people gonna use it because the white people want to employ those people. The black people may not want to employ. And also, I hear a lot of black people tonight, but every time I look around, black people always getting on TV talking about, well, you know, we disenfranchised in the black and brown community. Now, I never hear the brown people say that, but I always hear the black people say it. You know, and now that those people are here, they're ready to go to, the only thing I keep hearing about the migrants is they ready to go to work. I saw on TV today, they say that we've been running food pantries all the time, so I'm not really exclusively talking about that. But what the positive things that I hear the Hispanic people saying about, you might want to say their people, is that they ready to work. You know, they got boots on the ground. You know, they employed, they running the facility already. They smart. We calling our people N-word. We calling hey man, we ain't ready. We've been here 400 years, and I still hear people calling one another the N-word. I heard a lot of junk on here tonight that, you know, this ain't gonna fly over nowhere. This ain't gonna fly over nowhere. But you ain't gonna, well, hold on. But you're not gonna hear the migrants talking about one another, calling one another, oh, you ain't nothing but a spick. You ain't nothing but a slut. But we constantly calling one another the N-word on here tonight, and people hear this stuff. And people hear all of this, and they say, "Oh, that's how they talk about one another." But that's how they feel about one another. That's how they can overcome us, because we.
Well, brother, let me explain something to you.
Okay,
we're saying how we feel in public, and the politicians are doing what they. But listen to me though. See, you don't understand what these Democrats, the ones that you're claiming, how they're working behind the scenes to bury us. They are voting against everything. They're voting against everything that would help their community. And as far as you're saying that immigrants are coming, they're ready to work. We've been working since we came to this country. But you're repeating it. We've been working since we came to this country. We taught everybody on this earth how to work. You understand? So what we're tired of at this point, we're tired of working to build someone else's dream. We're tired of working to keep other people as our as the person that's got their foot on our neck. We're building someone else's world. We're sick of it. Today we want to build our own world. And we're trying to fight to hold on to the little bit that we have. We land or a country of our own. Venezuela has a country. And if they work so hard, they should have stayed over there and worked to build up their own country.
And shame the
Don't
devil.
come over here telling us we don't want to work, because I'm going to give you another good example. Father Flager has a job fair, 2 or 3 of them every month. And I'm going to tell you, I've went over there to those job fairs several times, and it's full. It's hundreds, if not thousands, that come in that door, and they all resemble me. They're black people. And see, the problem is illegal immigration. This is messing with the wages. People can't live off $15 an hour. You have to be making at least $25 an hour to be able to afford the rent in Chicago. These illegal economic immigrants are messing up the wages for everyone, not only for black people, for everyone in Chicago. So don't come on here with that same old spiel. We don't want to work and they're better than us. And they call each other names. You just had an illegal immigrant up there in Wadsworth to shoot another one. On the west side, they stabbed another one. They've been fighting and carrying on too. Everybody has their problems. So don't put the spotlight on us. But it don't make no damn difference. What I'm telling you is, we're tired. We're fed up with these Democrats. We don't care that you like them and you want to keep the cycle going. You're part of the problem. You are part of the problem, whether you recognize it or not. You like for people to backstab you and undermine you. Your own people, and you like it.
All right.
No, that's not true.
Go ahead.
That's
go
not
ahead,
true.
Go ahead.
Okay, these people here are being placed where they know that they can replace these people. You got to look at when stuff happened in Yugoslavia. They brought those white people here, but they didn't bring them to the black community. They brought them out in Schaumburg and Palatine. They put them in areas. Nobody said nothing. When those people, the Polish immigrants, they come here. They don't bring them to the black community. They put them out there in areas where they mesh with the white people. Black people love the brown people. So now we on here tonight like we don't love them. See, we
I don't give a damn about the brown people. I don't give a damn about the brown people. No, he needs to be quiet. I don't give a damn about the brown people. And you're talking about voting for people who are contributing to our demise. The Venezuelans, the Mexicans did not want the Venezuelans over in Little Village. The only thing they have in common is the language. They speak Spanish, but the Mexicans don't like the Venezuelans. The Colombians don't like the Mexican, and so on and so on. So you need to talk the truth. You don't know the history, brother.
Well, that's the claim. That's what they claim, ma'am. But when it comes
down to
it, they all get wrong.
You need to know the history. You don't understand the history.
Okay. All right. Okay. I hear you. I hope that we do get what we get. But I'm just trying to say,
black people want to work. Did you know they had a private job fair for the Venezuelans when we have 50% unemployment in some sections of the black community? Our young people don't have jobs.
Okay, I got you. I hear you. And no opportunity.
Talk what you know. You don't know the history. You're just running off at the mouth.
Ma'am, I work with them. I work with them for 40-some years.
Black people, stop talking about black people don't want to work. Black people built this damn country.
I never said black people didn't want to work. I never said that. I just said
you keep talking about they want to work. Black people want to work, but at the rate they're going in terms of bringing these immigrants in here, black people won't have a job cleaning out a toilet. I'm sick of this nonsense.
You're right. The
Democratic Party.
Oh, okay.
Joe Biden winning a game on black people, bringing all these people in here to replace black people. What about your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren? What about the children who have not been born? What about our babies? What about our children who won't have a future?
They better get up and go to work.
They'll go to work.
How can they go to work, brother, if there's no opportunity for them?
They will go to work if there's work for them.
You know what? Let me say this. Let me say this. Timer. Let me say this. Now,
Go ahead.
of us, if you read that, I need you to go to read that New American Plan. You need to read that.
He's not going to read it.
No, but I'm gonna text it to your phone because I know your number. What I'm gonna so you can text so you can download it and read it. But my thing is,
Martin. Listen to this here.
Go ahead.
God produces another generation of men to get the ones out of the way that are worthless. Okay? Same thing with women. If the women are worthless, God always had a ram in the bush. And so let him keep on pushing that. He came right in the door. I'm a Democrat, and I'm going to say, nigga, fuck you being a Democrat. How about that? You know what I'm saying? We under attack. And I ain't got no motherfucking respect for no old ass nigga like you talking that soft ass shit while our women and children suffer. Nigga, fuck you. I ain't got no respect for no old motherfucker like you.
Mark, we can't
nigga, man, hey, look, bro. Let me say this to you, man. Let me say this to you, man.
All right.
Let me say, I ain't got to respect shit.
Well, old time is not respecting us.
I ain't got to respect
old time is not respecting us.
Look, anytime he'll let his grandchildren die and he don't speak up to these white folks, he get in there, yes, and boss into them. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that nigga. That's why God created us, to replace his ass. That's why I just told you, I tried to be nice about it and say, hey, look, we don't need everybody. But all that trying to take us and water us down, you know, men.
He doesn't deserve any respect.
But hold on, Mama.
He could not be any more older than I am. I'm going on 80 years old.
No, watch this Mama doing.
Old as I
watch
am?
this Mama doing. But watch this Mama doing. See, one thing about men were put here to protect and provide. And the reason why we're in this predicament is because the men, enough of them ain't been the men that God put them here to be. And so when I hear that weak shit, I'll have absolutely, I don't give a fuck. He could have been my daddy. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear no weak shit from no goddamn man. You're going to either be willing to die or kill for the betterment of your people. If you ain't up with that, you get your old punk ass over in the corner and shut the fuck up. That's what needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? Stop being nice.
Man, that ain't going to change nothing.
So-called respect. Hey, nigga, he ain't respecting himself. God damn it, he got grandkids that's suffering from this shit, and he probably put the police on him. You know what I'm saying?
He doesn't care about the future of our children.
Standing up for his own grandkids. You think he give a fuck about yours? You know what I'm saying? And look, bro, I'm not here to rock no old ass nigga to sleep and nice up this shit for him. He know exactly what he doing. He know exactly what the fuck he doing at his age right now. He older than me. If I can see it, I know he can see it. 40 years of having his head down, shutting the fuck up, and think he gonna get us in line. Well, we gonna vote Democrat. Nigga, we ain't doing none of that shit you talking about.
Okay, well, vote Republican, and we'll see how far it goes. But don't vote Republican then.
And one thing about it, as a man, I don't care about no white man being racist. I'm racist too. He's violent, I'm violent too. That's what you would never learn, you know what I'm saying? Grow some nuts, maybe in your old age. But I don't care about him being racist. As long as we get out and he keep his racist ass on the white side, like you was taught down south, because you 9 times out of 10 you from down south, them white folks, as long as they was taught, as long as they stay their ass on their side of the tracks, we won't fuck them up. But you act like you got up in this north, you done got up in the north, you know what I'm saying, on some old scared ass shit, and you've been working for 40 years looking down and ain't spoke up for your people. You don't get no goddamn respect.
Well, so you run for office. You got an opportunity. You run for office. Make a difference.
You know what? Mark? You know, it's just unfortunate. We come to the airwaves to give people information about what is happening to us as a people, how this is going to destroy our young people's future. And then you have someone like this man coming on the air. He's not concerned about the future of our children. He's not concerned, because if you were concerned, it is no way in the world you would be talking the way you're talking. And a lot of it is just based on you do not know. You don't know what's happening in this world. Do you read? Do you research? Do you listen? No, you don't. No,
Yes,
you
I do.
don't,
Yes,
because if you did,
That nigga got fear in him.
if you were aware of what is going on and what's happening to us in Chicago today and around this country, there is no way you would be talking this way if you cared. You don't care.
Well, most politicians, when they run for office, they run to take care of their family.
Excuse me. We do not care anything about one black politician that is in office today anywhere in America because they are all selling us out. They have sold us out along with the ministry. Period. Wake up, mister. You still have a few years left. Try to inform yourself about what's going on. I guess you got a few years. I don't know. But try to inform yourself about what's going on. The ministers and the politicians have sold us out. And they have sold the future of our children out. This is why I'm involved.
Go ahead, old timer.
This is not my first time talking on the topic.
Go ahead.
I hear what
You
you're
know
saying.
what? You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Are you familiar with the Chicago New Americans plan that is specifically for immigrants? Black people are not mentioned anywhere in that plan. Are you familiar with the plan?
I've heard them talk about it. No,
Are you familiar with it? Have you read it?
No, I have not read it. No.
Well, then you don't need to be on this show because you don't know what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. A plan that the Democratic Party is implementing all over America for illegal economic immigrants, and black people are not mentioned no place on one page. Not one page.
Okay, but this is not the only show where they talk about stuff like that. They talk
Well,
about
then you need
stuff
to go, you know what? You need to go to a computer, pull it up and read it, and then come back and talk to us. Because you're wasting our time.
It won't do no good.
Yeah, because listen, old time, I'm going to send it to your phone. I got your number. I'm going to send it to you, and then you can text and download it.
He's wasted his entire life doing nothing.
It's 52. Well, you know what? Let me just say this.
Martin,
I want to say something real quick. Listen, a lot of us are grossly misinformed, Mark. Trust me. I didn't get this until I got in my late 40s, bro. I'm going to be honest with you guys. And I'm still learning. Listen.
It don't matter what you don't know. It don't matter what you don't don't know. It's even excusable by what you don't know. But then when you want to come in and act as if you know everything and that you're going along to get along, that's where the problem starts, all right? And matter of fact, the military don't waste no time on none of our old ass, okay? And that includes me. The military recruits young people from high school. And all the way on up into those generals is where you find the older generation. But when it comes down to the recruiting process, the military ain't got time for us at our age, and it definitely ain't got time for his ass at his age. All right? And y'all better stop trying to make these people everybody that's up in age ain't a damn elder. Eldership don't come with your just with age. It comes with also what you have done for the uplifting of your people. The speaking up for your people. Stop trying to. I got some uncles and cousins, you know what I'm saying, 70 years old, and they just as much an ignorant ass fool as a 16-year-old. So he ain't no elder just because he's up in age. Stop letting them play that game. Your age does not make you an elder. Okay? The work you put in for your people determines eldership. And listening to that fear that's in him, I can smell that fear in him. It's all in his
I ain't got no fear, brother. I ain't got no fear in me.
Don't talk back to Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie, I'm finna go tell Mr. Charlie, I ain't got nothing to do with him talking like that. You know, when you tell Mr. Charlie that we'll whoop your ass and his. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
No. Listen to me, Martin. I'm trying to tell you now. You know what I'm saying? See, I was taught by my grandparents' generation. And my grandparents, you know what I'm saying, always told us about them old straw boss niggas that want to come around and keep you in line. Remember the movie Life? And that guy was saying, tell them about the gun line, boss. That's what them straw boss niggas is about, man. They want to keep you in line. Or like the movie with Jamie Foxx, Django. Remember old Stevens? Old Stevens was watching over the plantation for the white man. See, all the people should have got together and been whooped Stevens' ass. They should have been whooped that nigga and buried him along with that white man like Django did in the end. You can't play no games with these people, man, just because they're up in age. Now, if they ain't gonna speak, if you ain't willing to sacrifice nothing for the next generation to come, then just be quiet. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
And you know what? And you know what, Martin?
Yeah.
These people don't want information. They want to come on and do exactly what he did. And that's why we say sometimes we do not want questions, because our people do not know how to ask a question, and they really don't want the answer to the question that we answer. They don't want to hear that. We are on here to disseminate information about what is happening to us. And as an elder, I'm not going to allow anyone who calls himself or an elder, as Mark just said, I'm going to check you. I'm going to check you. You could not be, if you can't be that much older than I am if you are as old as I am. But I thank God for putting me in the position that I am in to speak up when old, ignorant, selfish, disgusting elder people come on like you. I mean, this is just how serious this is. We're in trouble. I don't have time to play any games and make people feel good. I'm not concerned about you feeling good. I'm concerned about Black children having a future. And if you were concerned about Black children having a future, it's no way in hell you could come onto this program and the first thing you say to us, I'm a Democrat. And just what the hell does that mean? Nothing. Because you don't even understand what's going on.
I said that because I think you are well aware that it's almost impossible for a Republican to win in Chicago.
As long as there's a God, nothing is impossible for us. Nothing.
Well, I believe in God.
Well, then you need to stop making these statements that you're making are ignorant. Okay. I don't put any man above God. Well, I'm not being led by some man. I'm being led by a power greater than me. So I don't want to hear that slave nonsense you're talking. So get off the line.
I don't think you. Well, will you?
Well, put the Republicans on there, and we'll see.
Well,
you see how stupid he is. This is not about a Republican or a Democrat. This is about the survival of Black people, and you don't get it.
And making a statement. What's the worst could happen if they did vote a Republican in? What's the worst could happen?
Well,
what's the worst could happen?
The Republican agenda is always just want the Black people vote, but they're not for Black people. So that's what's going to happen.
But you see the Democrats. That's all they want, and they showing us. They showing us point blank what their agenda is. I mean,
brother.
Come on, brother. You sound like a person, and I think maybe I'm wrong. Everybody that's been speaking on this panel have made some strides and some success in life in a bunch of areas. It might be a little bit further than the average Black person, but they ain't forget that they got kids, grandkids, or families that can't pull their bootstraps up because there's no opportunity. Okay. You come on here talking. Wait. You've been talking. You talking about these migrants, illegal aliens. They here to work. Black people have been here to work for the longest. But disenfranchised.
About them. I didn't say they were.
But you repeated.
I said their people are saying positive things about them. I don't know. That's what their people are saying about them, and
that's what these people on this panel been saying. They tired of people saying their people, our people, are not ready to work when they don't have an opportunity. You got Inglewood, Lawndale, Austin, all these different areas. And there's only just for shits and giggles, you in all of those communities, you got 5,000 jobs, but you got 500,000 people that want a job. But they're gonna pay for these people. They're gonna bring these people here and build a community of, number one, let them live there. Please believe if they're gonna live there for free for so long. And then they're going to give them opportunities and bust them to jobs when they could have did that for our people.
And you are exactly right, brother. You are right. You are right. You are right. And let me just add this to it. Let me add this to it.
I'm going next after you, Sister Erica. Go ahead.
Okay. What people don't want to talk about, too, is they're allowing these illegal immigrants to come in. They're giving them clean background checks. Although they don't know their names, they don't know what they did in their other country. They giving them clean credit. Here we got brothers that have been in prison. They worked for these big corporations in prison for $1 a day and things like that. But when they come outside and they finish their time, pay their debt to society, they cannot go and apply for those same corporations to do the same job they've been doing for the last 10 years. They won't hire them. But they say that it's a workforce shortage. And they're allowing these people to come in and get these jobs with no background check. Why they don't give our brothers and sisters that same opportunity? Wipe our slate clean. Give us some good credit. Give us the opportunity to get these home loans without being redlined. See, that's the game changer. That's the game changer. But see, if you don't understand what is really being done, you will come on the call and talk like you're talking.
But see, Sister Erica, he's too old for us to be talking to. At his age,
he really is.
Hold on, let me say this. Let me say this.
I don't know. Y'all don't know how old the brother is.
Time on him. He's too old for us to waste time on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
he's gonna die of food.
Brother, hold on.
He is gonna die of food. And the only older people we want to talk to, and let me include us in this equation. So I'm gonna say all of us over 45. All of us over 45, if we ain't got it by now, fuck us. Set them to the side. Don't waste no time on the old fool ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? If he's 50 years old like me, he's a fool, throw the nigga in the garbage can. Okay, if he's 60 years old, he's scared, throw the nigga in the garbage can. We gotta raise up another generation.
I'm being real tolerant. I'm being real tolerant because first of all, I don't curse. I don't curse.
You can get your ass up off the call. You can get your ass up out of here. We ain't got to waste time. We ain't waste no time on you. You think I care about your emotions? I don't care nothing about your emotions. If you that sensitive, nigga, hang the phone up.
I'm just telling you what I don't do.
We don't. I don't care what you don't do. You ain't me.
I'm just telling you what I don't do.
I don't care what your coward ass don't do. You ain't never talk back to nobody folks like you. Man, look, man, we got something to do, man. We got something to do. Can you catch up with your crowd? We got something to do. We talk to young people. We talking to young people. Excuse me. Fuck Danny Davis and fuck you. You know what I'm saying? We talk to young people that we trying to raise up so they can see tomorrow. Because if they follow fools like you, they will surely die with.
Man, I think Martin knows what my stance is.
Martin, sir, I didn't ask Martin nothing about you. I'm listening to you. Martin can't tell me nothing about you. I don't need Martin to tell me nothing about you. I'm hearing your weak ass talk yourself.
Okay, that's your opinion. I'm going by your opinion.
Okay. We were talking about. Can we move forward, man?
Let's go.
Can we please move forward?
Y'all go ahead and move
you ain't talking about nothing.
I was only making no opinion.
At your age, are you willing to sacrifice for the next generation?
I do, brother. I do. I'm a politician.
Are you willing to sacrifice for the next generation?
Brother, I do what I have to do for the black community and for anybody
That
else.
ain't what I just asked you.
I know about
that ain't what I just asked you. Man, look, matter of fact, look, I'm 35 and myself.
I don't know what that means. I
don't give a damn about an old fool your age, man. I don't know what kind of question young enough. I'm talking to the future, okay? The future.
Well, I don't know what kind of question that is.
The future of our people. The future of our people is rooted in us raising our young people up, finding those who are going to stand up and represent our community, those who are going to build our community. Okay? Ever since our grandparents left the scene and left y'all crazy ass out here, y'all done stole everything off that our grandparents built up for us. Y'all done went and traded in for a city job or something where y'all went down there kissing them crackers' ass. You know what I'm saying? But now guess what God did? While y'all was wandering in the wilderness, the Joshua generation was growing up. And God damn it, you know what I'm saying? We here now. And I urge you to get the hell out the way because we ain't going to stop moving. And when we try to hit that white man in the head, you put your head in there and you think because you old, you're going to get hit right upside your head. So now I urge you just get on out of the way because we care about
I want to share this with him.
Okay.
I want to share this with him.
Okay.
During the 1800s, during Reconstruction, under the Republican Party, this is how we had people like Hiram Revels of Mississippi who were elected to the United States Congress and made a little progress during Reconstruction under the Republican Party. So when you don't know history, you will make the statements that you made. Mm-hmm. We're not hung up on any party. We're talking about policies, and we're talking about the future of our children. I don't talk very much about me, sir, but let me share this with you. I am a retired teacher and a retired counselor from the Chicago public school system. I am financially set. I do this for the future of our children. Because I've seen what they did to the Chicago public school system, closing all the schools in the Black community, getting rid of all of the Black teachers. All of that was by design under a Democratic mayor, Rahm Emanuel. We're talking about policy. We're talking about the future of our children. We are the only race of people who do not prepare for our children. So you cannot tell us that you're concerned about Black people when you come on talking about I'm a Democrat and it's the Democratic Party that's doing all of this to us. So to hell with that Democratic Party. And that dead bastard who's over it today, Joe Biden, coming on down to Priska, coming on down to Brandon Johnson, because we are going to go after them in whatever way God puts in us to go after them.
Okay. All right, let's take a couple more calls. We got about another 20 minutes. A couple more callers. Couple of very interesting. Couple more callers. Okay, 4069. Come on, 4069. All right.
Brian Tracy, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Now you going back to 1968 or what? Come on, let me see what you got.
Oh, ain't no doubt about it.
Go ahead.
You got to stop.
Hey, you got the right ones. Hey, you got the right ones on this line.
Hold on, crime chaser. Hold on, crime chaser. You got to start from the root of the problem. You can't jump from 1968 to today. You started it back then.
Well, come on with the question.
See, I'm from the Butt Naked Truth Show, so you can't lie to me.
Well,
see, in 1968, you signed us into this minority bill.
Who was you?
That's why the black man ain't got nothing. They sent all us to the penitentiary. They made 3 crime bills, 1970s, 1980s, 1990s. You ain't say nothing when they was locking us up. I'm one of them. Then now since they finna take your job, now you want to cry. Now you want my help. Hold on, now you want the black man help. But when I've been crying in them penitentiaries and juvenile and adult over there, didn't no black people help me.
Devontae,
they didn't care about me.
Who
but let it be a foreigner. Hold on,
big brother.
Let it be a foreigner cry. You know who taught me how to stay out of jail?
Brother.
Africans,
Listen,
Arabs, Indians, people that's not from America. America told me to go in my backyard, and hide from the police.
Hey, Mark.
I don't know none of these people on here talking.
Mark, get this drunk ass.
They wasn't part of the Butt Nigga Scoop Show.
Right.
I'm supposed to Harold Davis.
That's it, bro.
No, they know Harold Davis.
Man, get this drunk ass out of here, man. Let's
You know what, Mark? We don't really spend our time doing
y'all. Hey, he gone.
Man, hey, Mark, look,
this
it's
is too important.
I know it. I know it. He gone.
Go ahead, Mama Dora.
He gone. I listen.
It's just too important. We come on this show and other shows to present to the people information, information that they need to know because of the position that we're in this country, and particularly in Chicago. Immigration is the greatest threat to Black people in Chicago than anything I can think of right now. And to come on this show, and that's why Sister Erica and I say sometimes we're not taking calls, because these people do not want to be informed. They're not doing anything to inform themselves. We're talking about the children, protecting the children. And if Black people cannot wrap around that, then we might as well just hang up and say goodbye and let them do whatever they want to do, because they are going to do it. We're talking about our children and the future of our children. We're talking about those elderly people that man was over there talking about today, who will be pushed out of their homes all over Chicago. This is affecting educated Black people, uneducated Black people, rich Black people, people with a little money or no money. This is affecting all of us. That's what they did in California. That's what's going on in New York, in Minnesota. All over the country, they are talking about removing Black people from the land. They have strategically and specifically targeted the Black community all over America. That's what we're trying to get people to understand. But they come on here with this nonsense. Brothers who just went to jail, we're trying to stop future Black children from going to jail. If you don't have an opportunity or opportunities, this will be the result.
Okay.
And Biden is setting it up so that it'll be that way.
Oh. Yeah, I just wanted to say that was Roderick Wilson from the Hope Center that told you that you can't record. Yeah, that was him. Okay. But he's the same person that I used to call you out to his protest, you know, and I used to take you out my own pocket. But it was okay then for you to record when it's putting a spotlight on him and he, you know, want people to see what he's doing in the community to get those grants. You see what I'm saying? But he want to tell you not to record when they in there selling out Black people. Okay? Yeah.
You're right.
All of these politicians, all of them have sold us out. All of these, the majority of these ministers have deceived the Black people. The majority of them. There's no way we would be in this condition if these people had not gone along with it. These white people can do what they do because they have Brandon Johnson, the head coon nigger, in charge. Danny Davis, Jonathan Jackson, they have sponsored legislation, co-sponsored legislation for immigrants to benefit immigrants only. Black people are nowhere in the picture. These are Black people. They could not do it without them. And that's what we're trying to get the people to understand. Danny Davis, Robin Kelly, Jonathan Jackson, they have sold us out. The ones on the state level, they have sold us out. And the city council, 20 Black aldermen. There's no way this could happen without them being complicit, them going along with it. Understand that. You got 20 Black aldermen. All they need is 6 more and they could control everything. But they're down there taking that money. They're down there going along with everybody doing for everybody else for their own people. That is immoral. That is illegal. That is just wrong.
Wow. Okay.
And
Sister
see
Dawn.
again and again,
Go
Mike.
ahead. Go ahead.
See, God sent me here to be the bad guy. I don't want to be friends with nobody. Ain't friends with my people. I ain't trying to be like bound. As long as my people like me, that's enough for me. I don't care nothing about no uppity nigga. I don't care nothing about no crackers. I'm just as racist as they are. I'm just as supremacist as they are. And you see how dark I am? I'm the beginning of civilization. When a white man see me, his job is to get on all fours so I can put a collar and a leash on his ass and walk him like the dog he was born to be. He ain't got no business looking up at me and talking to me like he a human. He ain't no human being. He a Neanderthal. And when I see a black man that don't know his place and position as a black man, then he might well get on all fours so I can walk him like a dog too. And this is serious what's happening with us. Okay? These people are moving on us. If you look at California, you look at New York, you look at Florida, you look at Minneapolis, Minnesota, Washington, D.C., Houston, Texas, they are moving on our people. And then for him to come in here, no matter what we saying, I don't care what nobody say, I'm still a Democrat. Okay, well get your ass on over there with the Democrats then. Because I ain't Democrat or Republican. I can use either party to push the agenda. Last time I checked, Chicago we've been voting Democrat for 75, 76 years. Ain't no white racist Republicans in power in Chicago, y'all. They get to talk about some white racist Republicans. Ain't no white racist Republicans in power in Chicago. Stop letting them tell y'all about some goddamn.
Not one.
Every time you have a conversation, they get to tell you about some white racist Republicans. Hey. What the hell they got to do with anything? The governor's office is Democrat. The governor's office is listen to this, y'all. The governor's office is Democrat. The
mayor
from the state to the county to the city is all Democrat. And then you got a black lieutenant governor.
And most of them black.
Mayor. You got black state reps, state senator. You got more black politicians in the state of Illinois than any other state in the United States of America. And so whatever's happening to us is happening at the hands of black Democrats. And it's happening at the hands of Democrats. And so if we can use the Republican Party, because I don't give a shit about them crackers either. But if we can use them to slate our candidates, I'm talking about our candidates, not who they say going to be slated. I'm saying our candidates that we push. Then in the general election, you can vote for some Democrats, you can vote for some Republicans. You ain't got to vote just one way in the general election. In the primary, you have to switch or have to choose party. And I would tell y'all, in the primary, man, don't vote at all. We shouldn't even vote in the primary, period. Why? Why are we going to vote in the primary when we know everybody that's in this Democratic Party is going to go along with them old white racist ass must-ass Jews? That's what you really
and you know what? They are spending $40 million a month. These are our tax dollars. Black people pay taxes. Brother, you are so for the Democratic Party, these are our tax dollars that they're spending $40 million a month. This was said in the body of the city council by Alderman Deal. $40 million a month on these illegal economic immigrants. When we have people, 53% of the homeless people in Chicago are black. We need housing. We need better schools. We need jobs. We need everything that they're giving to these illegal economic immigrants. They're giving them our tax dollars to help them, and they won't give a dime to help a homeless brother or sister or our children out on the streets every day. These are our tax dollars. And you talk about all the money that they're spending. Well, those are your tax dollars that they're spending. They're not working. I live in Hyde Park. They have about 600 illegal economic immigrants at the Lakeshore Hotel. Criminals, prostitutes, drug pushers, you name it. They are there. But they're locking up our young boys and girls. If they do anything, if they look the wrong way, they're locking them up. But they don't even lock these criminals up. That is Joe Biden. Those are Joe Biden's policies. The Democratic Party, Joe Biden has broken every law there is to break. International law, human rights, civil rights, constitutional rights. He has broken it because he wants these people in here for political reasons and to give them the right to vote us out of Chicago. That's what that plan is all about. The Chicago New Americans plan.
Yes, indeed.
Immigrants. Not one word in there about black people. Immigrants.
Yep, not one word.
We will not be here. Our children will have nothing. And you think they're going to jail? Let them get away with this. You will be in jail.
Because once they get them numbers, it's over with. It's over.
It's over with.
It's over with.
And there's a few of us. We're educating ourselves. We have teach-ins every night. We bring in experts. We read. Mark is the most knowledgeable person in Chicago and in the whole country about this plan. They have it on a local level, a state level, and a national level. No one knows about this plan like Mark. No one knows about these legislations that Danny Davis, Robin Kelly, Jonathan Jackson, and this coon down here in Mississippi, Benny Thompson. These black men and women are voting for legislation that are going to destroy us. And if black folks cannot understand what we're saying, then may God help us. May God help us.
Sister Doris, I don't want y'all to be mad at me, but I need to take a couple more people. And if they talk crazy, I'll get them on. But I need to take a couple more because these are my regular followers, and I do want them to say something.
Okay.
They do follow me faithfully.
Okay.
Okay. All right. 0152. Go ahead, caller. 0152. Go ahead.
Martin, this is Marcus.
Hey, Marcus. Go ahead, Marcus. I'm sorry you're holding on so long. Go ahead. This is one of my faithful.
Yeah, I really wanted to comment your other caller because he said that black people don't want to work. Black people been working their butts off in this country forever.
Mm-hmm.
We've been slaving forever. I watched my mother work when I was a kid, and she worked herself, and she didn't really live long enough to enjoy her retirement. These white folks giving these migrants what they should have been giving us. We're hollering about reparations. They're giving them our reparations.
Mm-hmm.
And then this guy get on here and boldly say that black people don't want to work. What freaking time zone is he living in? It's a whole lot of them out here that wants to work. But you know what? We don't want to work for slave wages. They won't let us. Then you say start your own business. These white folks won't let us have our own business. The minute we get to doing better than what they're doing, they try to tear us down. They used to kill us and take our land. Now they go and change the laws. They make the laws, they change the laws. And any black person that's continuing to sit back and not roll up their sleeves and fight, then you're going to be caught in the wrath. And just like somebody said, we're going to be in jail just for being poor and black in this country because they aims to make us a third-class citizen. They're afraid of us. They're afraid of us that if we rise economically, we're going to do to them what they did. So when you use, and I hear Mark, we use the Republicans to get what we want because both parties been using us to get what they want for the longest. It's time we show them that we ain't just voting Democratic. I voted Republican one time because I heard their agenda. And I believe that if we could get somebody that looked like us up there and put them in office, hopefully they won't do what the black Democrats are doing to their own damn people. Excuse my French. But this city has been run by Democrats and has been run by mostly black people who are in office who are nothing but puppets to the Jews that's putting millions of dollars in their pocket to screw their own people. And then they come in here and tell the kids to put the guns down. they give these turkeys and toys and coats. Damn it, quit giving the turkeys and toys and coats and give them jobs so they can get their own turkeys and toys and coats. We're tired of people telling us all we want to do is be on public aid. Who wants to be on aid? But you're giving it to the migrants. And for those who complain about people on aid, your president is on aid. He living in the White House at your expense. He's flying across the world at your expense. What you think that is? Black people wake up.
Say that, Marcus.
One party.
That's right.
Show them that we can
right.
vote another party.
That's right.
All right.
Martin, you know, they just opened up a Venezuelan restaurant right at 29th and Adams.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No way in hell they would allow a black person to open up a business at 29th and Adams.
Mm-hmm.
They just got here.
Yeah, that's it.
They just got here. They give them, just like the brother said, they have given them all of the monetary assistance that they need to be successful.
That's in the plan. It's in the plan. In that 52 packet, they said we're going to cut the red tape. It's in the plan.
That's right.
Let's take this. We got two more calls, I think. Two more. I think three. Yeah. Come on, 912. Come on, Sarge. You got to land this plane quick. Come on.
Oh, I'm gonna land it real quick.
This is a Republican man right here, y'all. Go ahead.
Damn right. Nah, you got the doggone congressional. That's what I'm talking about. You got the congressional Black caucus, all black, all Democrat, ain't done nothing. Nothing since 1971 when they got established. Ain't done nothing for Black America, okay? You had Jim Crow Joe talk to Ice Cube in October of, 2020? Before the election, talking about after the election, we gonna talk. Well, you know, it's only 11 months until the next election. Still ain't talked to Ice Cube, huh?
Bro.
Too busy. Busy doing what? Busy doing nothing. Trying to do a continuance on that doggone plan that Obama put into place with that DACA program that was giving the immigrants some of everything. Now, Joe Biden ain't nothing but doggone the 2.0 plan. Because their main goal is this. If they could make all them Venezuelans, etc., make them second-class citizens dependent on them and will vote for them, Black Americans are no longer necessary.
Okay. All right. We'll go to the next call. Thank you, Sarge. All right. 5832. Come on. 5832. Gotta come on quick.
Man, I don't know what's going on, man, but we need to do something because this, we talking. A lot of us mean well, but we're going to have to do something, man, because they still laughing at us. Evidently, this must not be enough, what we talking about. I'm just saying. I know a lot of it's good, but we talking, they still laughing at us. And like they said, that reparation, they giving that to the migrants. It's supposed to be ours. We really need to do something about it. And we need more numbers. We need, there's a lot of things. That's all. We need more than just talking, because this talking ain't working.
Okay, bro. Thank you so much.
Well, it's working because we're teaching the people. So, brother, it is working. And we've been able to stop some things. We just need the numbers. We're going to be making announcements about different things that you're going to be exercising. And we just want people to show up. When we give you the date, show up. We're a small number, but we're growing.
2 days before, if you can.
It'll be 2 days. It'll be much more than 2 days before.
Okay, no problem.
You can be on it. They got a Zoom
we
call.
Need more numbers, though.
They have a Zoom call. You could be on nightly if you're serious.
That's the one every day at 7:00.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think they posted up there too. She posted up there. Yeah, it's it. Okay, but let me go to this last caller, brother. 507. You're my last caller, then I got to close it out. 507. Area code.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Yes, can you hear me with clarity?
Yeah, I need you to turn your Facebook down because it's a little echo. Just turn all your devices down. Take me off speakerphone. So I want to hear what you have to say.
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. What's your concern? What's your question?
Okay.
What's your thought?
Okay. Okay. So this is my input and what I have to add. I think that we would service ourselves better to focus on steps that we need to take. When I was growing up, I was a huge why person. I always was why this, why that. And my dad stopped me and he said, why is irrelevant unless you're looking back on it as you prepare to do what you need to do next. Politics, I don't even entertain it because in 2006, I believe, our right to vote expired. We are the only class of people who were ever governed under a time stipulated right to vote. So currently, our focus should be getting it in writing that we have the right, because without the right, one day they can say, okay, anyone who doesn't have the right to vote, even with a voter's registration card, you can't vote. And vote to put us all in cages in the street. So that's an unreliable standpoint, and it's irrelevant as well. What we need to do is either create our own religion, because religion cannot be challenged, and whatever the ordinance is, a human being is allowed to carry it out without question. Or everyone needs to dig into their Moorish identity, stop signing these birth certificates, because when you do that, you give your child over to the state in which you're signing.
Okay.
It's just like when your boss issues a check.
Hold it.
Right?
Hold it. Listen. You say you don't do the politics thing, but that's what we're talking about. Now, politics is a way of life here in America. Now, I understand that you probably, separate yourself from things going on, but that's why we're talking about politics. So if you don't do politics, this probably may not be the conversation.
What I mean by that is, being that we don't even have a legal right to vote according to...
You know what, dear sister, whether you vote or not, the policies that the politicians pass affect your life, your mere existence.
I agree.
So then, if you agree, then I don't understand the statement you just made.
Perhaps you didn't get it in a context of the entire message. The bottom line is, if we all could for real stand together, we would be in a better position than pointing out what they did or didn't do. Because
black people have not just, black people built this country. This country is wealthy.
Let us be real clear. I'm familiar with who we are as Kings and Queens.
Okay, well then if you're familiar with who you are, then you would be making the statements that you're making. And we're here to try to educate you and others who do not know. Black people built this country. This country is what it is because we built it. And we are not going to sit by and allow this country to bring people from around the world who have not done anything for this country, who left their country on their own to come here because you have a racist, white supremacist president of the United States who is trying to keep the Democratic Party in power, and he will do anything to do it. And that's what he's done. He has violated every law there is to violate. He's violated every religion there is to violate, since you mentioned religion, to bring these people here for the sole purpose of replacing black people. That includes you, your family, your friends. That includes black people all over America. They don't want us here, and that's why we are doing whatever we can to educate the people, to try to stop these people. And if we don't put up some kind of resistance, they're going to run over us like a Mack truck, a big Mack truck. And I don't intend to allow it to happen without us fighting. So if you want to help, when we make an announcement to do something, show up. If you want to help, join our Zoom at 7 p.m. every night. This is what we've been doing, educating and teaching Black people about this new Chicago, the Chicago New American Plan, which is specifically for immigrants. It does not mention Black people one time. It's talking about what they're going to do for their babies. Their babies, kindergartners, elementary, high school, and college, educating them, providing them with every opportunity they need to survive and be successful, at the same time taking those opportunities away from us. This is what this is all about.
Okay. All right, we're going to leave it right there. Mark, close us out. Close us out, Mark. Close us out. If you're still on here. Close us out.
So, we've been making mention of the New Americans Plan. And just quickly, you had asked me the other day, Martin, about, when we talk about the Americans Plan, give us, that you say, well, give some information, give a little information about it. And so since we have, I just read, I saw we got like 700-800 comments, so we got a nice amount of people in the room. I'm not going to go too deep off into everything because, as Mama Dora said, every night at 7 p.m. we have a Zoom call. And maybe what you can do is do a quick live to announce everybody to come on to the call. And it's going to be a wealth of information. The information that they're going to receive, I guarantee you, it's going to change their way of thinking. Even some of the sellouts, it'll change their way of thinking. And if it don't, then hey, it's too old to understand it. Hey, I don't know what to tell you. And there's no disrespect to all older people. It's just that I just don't have time for old fools, man. And when I say old fools, I'm talking about over 40, and I'm 50, so that puts me in the category too. I'm not just talking about those who are older than me, right? But these people literally have a plan, and I want y'all to hear me and hear me well. They have a plan where all of the businesses, the major corporations have come together, along with the civic community, the philanthropic community, meaning these big nonprofits that donate to smaller nonprofits, the immigrant leaders, the pastors, the organizations, they all have gotten together, y'all, back in 2011, structured a comprehensive plan to give all jobs, contracts, housing, education resources over to immigrants, these illegal immigrants, illegal economic immigrants, as Mama Dora and Erica calls them. And listen to what they're saying. Illegal economic immigrants, y'all. That means they came over here to make money. They didn't come here to stand with us, fight with us, speak with us. They came over here to replace us. And so with this plan, Africans, Caribbeans, Mexicans, the Jews, the Irish, the Polish, they all are together. This plan also states clearly that they gave 100,000 positions to these illegal immigrants and these other immigrants, because the plan is not just for illegal immigrants, it's for all immigrants. Been in place long before y'all saw the Venezuelans sleeping at police stations. So they've been working on this, giving these people, like somebody mentioned it earlier, they're giving them reparations, right? It also says that immigrant children will make up the next generation of Chicago's workforce. And last but not least, it talks about them removing the red tape so these people can open up their businesses, can buy homes. These banks will give them money to buy homes. And then last but not least, I forgot this part, which is the most important part. It talks about giving resources to make sure that their babies through early childhood education will grow up and be successful people. Now, after hearing all this, and this is at the hands of the Democratic Party, even the black Democrats are with it. The black, the white, and the Hispanic Democrats are rolling together to give everybody everything but us. And after hearing that, if you turn around and you vote for this Democratic Party, then whatever happens to you and your children and your grandchildren, the blood is on your hands. It's your fault. Because you've heard what the Democratic Party has written us off. We've been written off, y'all. There are no white racist Republicans in power in Chicago. Now, we're not saying just go vote for Republicans. No, we're saying that we're going to slate our own candidates that we vote for. And that if some of those other Republicans who are against immigration, and even with Democrats, I think in the general election, you can vote Democrat and Republican. You can vote for some Democrats, you can vote for some Republicans. But do not vote for anybody that's not, we're closing the border. If they're not about closing these borders and stopping these illegal immigrants, vote against them. I'm telling you directly. We don't have the luxury to let our people figure it out, especially for those of us who have studied this thing for the last 20 years. Vote against everybody that's for open borders. Okay? Everybody for closed borders are the ones that you must vote for. Vote against everybody that's for open borders. Vote with everybody that's for closed borders. Because once you close the borders, then more opportunities come to our people. I know some of y'all may be some of these politicians. Your elected officials, every single one of the Democrats are voting in this election because the aldermen and the rest of them, they're not running right now. But the ones that are in the race right now, they are not voting to close the border. Vote against them. Stand with those who are about closing the borders before it's too late. Before you end up like California, where our people are sleeping on the bridges, they're sleeping out of their cars, and if they're lucky, they rent garages from Mexicans who live in their actual houses in California. And if they can't do that, then they move it upstate and out of state, right? The Democratic Party has written you off. And I'll stop right there.
All right, we're gonna leave it right. Go ahead, Sister Doris.
Martin, he mentioned California. The Watts that we know of that was all black is now 60% Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
These homes that these Mexicans are living in that black people used to live in, they terrorize those communities. They beat black people. They killed black people. About 2 months ago, there were several of them that were indicted because the FBI finally got involved. They literally ran black people out of their communities, told them, if you stay, we will kill you. These are these Spanish-speaking Mexicans, Venezuelans, Colombians. The only thing those people have in common is the language. But they all come together against us, like all white people come together against us. But they don't like each other. And if I sound passionate, it's because I am. Because we see what is happening. And that's all we're trying to do is educate our people about what's happening. So we don't end up like California, New York, and Florida, off the land, losing what our grandparents fought for.
Mama Doris, tell them the name of the plan, because I was just talking about it and didn't give the name of the plan.
It's called the Chicago New.
They can Google it.
You can Google the Chicago New Americans Plan. It is a plan specifically for immigrants. There's no mention of Native Black Americans any place in this document. So please pull it up. the Chicago New American Plan came out in 2011 under Rahm Emanuel. And you will see everything that we're talking about here. Just think about it. We're still 29% of the population in Chicago. And they put together a plan that systematically excludes us. In other words, y'all ain't nothing, and we gonna show you. Black folks.
All right, people. We're going to leave it right there. We've been on here 2 hours and 21 minutes. I appreciate you guys. We didn't know we was going to do this today, but we put it together in the last minute. So, again, I thank you. It's live, uncut, unedited. So, Sister Doris and them say they be on a Zoom call every day around 7 o'clock, right? I think Sister,
7 p.m.
Yeah,
7 p.m.
Yeah, Sister Dawn put the, Erica put it up on the link there. So, all right, guys, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. Y'all already know
Thank
what,
you, Brother Martin.
it is. No problem. Live,
Thank you, Martin.
uncut,
Thank
no
you,
problem.
Martin.
Unedited. No. Tell the truth and shame the I want to thank all devil. my wonderful guests. Thank you guys for tuning in. At the end of the day, y'all know what about me is. I love being black. All right. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.